Welcome everybody to week 3 of ReDefy Academy, I believe it is. We got some exciting games today between Predictive Gaming, Tartarus, and World Class Esports. My name is the Small Dog, and joining me as my co-caster tonight, Hunt Turtle. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great, man. How about yourself? You doing good?
I'm excited. I've been thinking about these games all night. This is two of the top teams in the league. A lot of people are putting a lot of expectations on them. So hopefully these games deliver tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Both of the teams are 2-0, so they're fighting for being the top of the league, their division anyway. So it's going to be a banger of a game. I know World Class Esports is popping off, and then Predictive Tartarus. I honestly don't really know much about them, but they're 2-0, so they're obviously a strong team. So it's going to be exciting to see what this team pulls out against World Class Esports, the former defending champions of the RDPL, which is what it used to be back in the day. But yes, nonetheless, we are getting ready for the games now. And yeah, I don't know. What are you looking forward to see today, huh? I mean, what is your
honestly? I'm just really excited for this matchup. There's a lot of history between these two organizations. World Class Esports always at the top of the standings for a lot of different leagues. Predictive Gaming Tartarus, in a former league that they played in together, had a huge rivalry. So this for both of these organizations is kind of a it's kind of a pride match. So I think both teams are going to be going all out for this one.
That's exciting then. So it's not just fighting for the top of the league. There's some backstory behind it. All right, so both teams are going to be going all out here. And with that said, we have two bans coming out on the mid lane from the side of Predictive Tartarus. They're definitely targeting Great Scruff here. And then a Lilia ban, classic. You got to ban it. It's just too strong, man. The global sleep is just too much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Lilia dominating ranked, dominating a lot of team play, especially just having that sleep available is such a great utility. And it also gives you, like, so say the teams have stalled things out, they're able to wave clear really well, you can't push in. Having that, global sleep, like, you can pick fights that you wouldn't normally be able to with most team comps
with anybody else.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
Literally no engaged support or jungler or mid lane can engage from as far away as Lilia can. I mean, she just throws that out. It sleeps for like 2 seconds, and then the enemy team is just sitting there realizing they're about to get slept and that there's nothing that they can do about it. It's disgusting. I love the champion and hate it as much as I love it. So love-hate relationship there. But looking at the team comp so far, we have Lucian most likely going in the top lane because we missed pro draft. So these teams are just most likely picking an order as that's just the best thing to do, right? So Lucian into Shen, that's pretty interesting. Olaf into Hecarim, both great junglers, and LeBlanc and Anivia. It's looking pretty good for Predictive Tartarus. I think they don't have necessarily as much global presence or as much engage, but I really do like the fact that Anivia can wave clear, Lucian scales, Olaf can do whatever the heck he wants, and his lanes are pretty self-sufficient. So that's looking good.
Yeah, and Predictive Gaming Tartarus, I believe, I know they were blue side, so I think the LeBlanc was picked into the Anivia because World Class would have had the counter on that. Kind of an interesting matchup in the mid lane. I don't know how much that favors the LeBlanc, but Anivia will definitely get bullied a little bit early on. So
probably,
and a lot of mid lane focus too. That's something I wanted to point out, was a lot of the bans for Predictive Gaming have been towards that mid lane, and you see a lot of power picks like that Shen, the Hecarim getting left on the board. So I think World Class is going to be pretty comfortable in their other roles.
Absolutely. And Chris Meister, he was one of the most dominant mid laners last season, but now he is on the ADC role. And I believe I remember seeing a Ziggs earlier as well, or like last split, but Ziggs picked out again.
Ooh.
So they have some good push in the bottom lane. We have two mages in the bottom lane, unless they're going to do like a last second swap and put Lucian there and Morgana top, but I don't see that happening. And I really like Pantheon into the Blitzcrank. Like, Morgana counters the Pantheon, but Pantheon kind of counters the Blitz because you pull him and then he takes no damage, and he kind of wants to be up close. So I don't know. I'm liking the bottom lane. It's very off meta, but both I don't know. Seems like they had a lot of good strategy behind it. So interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah, there's a lot of thought that's gone into this draft. But we'll just have to see how it plays out. I definitely think the mid lane for World Class Gaming is, their strong suit. Their mid lane and AD carry are going to be the players that they're going to look to get ahead. So I expect Hecarim to be spending a lot of time in that bot side jungle. Good, good to spend time down there anyways, just because you can control the dragons. And so if you get those laners ahead, you can kind of snowball that into a very early soul. And so on from that. So we'll just have to see how that goes. And I did want to mention as well, these teams both highly rated. I believe World Class was picked as favorite for week 1, and Predictive Gaming Tartarus was picked as favorite for week 2. So both going undefeated so far. That will end today, and both being favorites for their past weeks. So this is definitely the highlight match of the week.
Yes, it is. So that's going to be exciting. And just some history. I used to be on a team kind of for a little bit. We were doing some tryouts, and Red Flame Evolved was swapping between one of the two top laners on a diamond team that I used to be a part of. So now he's with one of the best, I guess, one of the best teams I've ever seen, honestly, World Class Esports. So it's interesting to see. He usually plays some heavy carry top laners. This time he's on the Shen. So I'm interested to see if he's going to be still popping off and making these plays on a somewhat of a more supportive style pick. But also Shen, you can never underestimate him. He's sneaky with that damage output sometimes.
You build a Hydra on him, and he can put out some serious damage. And he's always useful. If he even gets him behind the lane, I mean, you still have the stand united to join the fights. You can always shield one of the carries. Ziggs is going to be fairly immobile, and that's, I think, something that Predictive Gaming is going to look for is in these fights, is being able to hit the Blitzcrank's hooks on the Ziggs, and in combination with that, you have so much lockdown from the Anivia, from the Morgana. So we'll just have to see how he does.
Yep, and interestingly enough, we're looking at some stats right now from Benjamin's. So World Class Esports and Predictive Tartarus both have a 5.86 KDA. Like literally to the decimal, they have it exactly the same. Now, Predictive Tartarus does have more kills, but they're spread out over more games, so it averages out to about a 5.8. And while they do have more kills, they have more deaths. So interesting to see. It looks like World Class Esports is very smart with what they pick to fight and what they pick to give up. Like, for example, giving up a dragon or a Rift Herald. So they also, on average, have less deaths, I think. But Predictive Tartarus just seems to be all grouped up all the time, is what the stats are kind of showing. But I don't know. It's going to be explosive. I think World Class Esports is very adaptable, but Predictive Tartarus looks to be a very proactive early game team fighting team. And I don't know. I've never seen World Class Esports play that way. And we'll see if they're able to keep up with a new rivalry coming at them right now.
Yeah, but Predictive Gaming, all of their squads, from what I've seen, they're all very, very active, and they like to commit, whether it's a good idea or not. They will commit all, if there's a call given, everybody goes for it, and sometimes it ends up in a really good play. Sometimes it ends up in everybody dying. So they're very, very aggressive, and I expect that to come through here, and we'll see how World Class kind of reacts to that. I expect a very aggressive play style from them, though.
I really do hope so, and I have confidence in their team. I've seen them pop off before. It's going to be nice watching them back at it. Like, they're already 2-0. Nothing's changed so far, and we're in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Again, you have Predictive Tartarus versus World Class Esports, and we'll see what they decide to do. It looks like they might be grouping up here.
Yeah, onto the Rift.
They're going to go for an invade. Let's go, hopefully.
Yeah, everybody going right up that mid lane. I think if LeBlanc heads straight there, she should spot this out, but Blitzcrank Hook is very potent level 1. Yeah, she'll see it. We'll see. I don't think... Not going to flash for it. Ooh.
Oh. Starting
Okay.
W in mid
Yeah.
lane, I don't know. I think that's normal, right? It's normal for LeBlanc.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hurt her.
Okay, yeah.
I think that might have been what she would have started with anyways. So I'm not too worried about that.
But again, we already see Predictive Tartarus being proactive, trying to make plays. They're already pushing into the jungle as well to get some vision. We got a little sad face going because he got spotted while doing that. But yeah, they're already pushing the aggression. Love to see it. And World Class Esports is pretty chill. They're pretty comfortable with what they're doing right now. No need to push and fight that. They know they don't win the level 1.
Yeah, and Predictive Gaming getting a little bit more information there, spotting out that red, so they'll know that Navy Caboose is going to start on blue. But I think that's fairly standard. I don't think they necessarily needed that ward. I'm pretty sure they could have just assumed that.
Yeah, I maybe it is some good, I guess, to always have some intel, but
Yeah, no, it definitely benefits them. Yeah.
yeah, and like you said, Hecarim might be sticking around bottom lane just because of the matchups. They kind of want to get that lane ahead. Ziggs ahead is disgusting. The wave push, the ability to destroy a tower early. He's basically a Rift Herald on his own. So maybe he'll just do that and forget the ward. And yeah, we'll see what's going to happen there. But yeah, we already see the push happening in the bottom lane. Ziggs is already getting the advantage for himself. And ooh.
Nice stun coming out. A lot of damage falling onto Best Mustache. He's going to have to walk away and heal up just above 100 health. But good chunk out there from Shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they didn't even hit level 2. She just overstayed, stepped up a little too far. And the thing is, when being an ADC player, if there is a wave that's pushing to you that hard, a lot of times you literally don't miss a single CS because your wave is so small it doesn't deal enough damage to kill a single minion. So just back off, sit at the turret. You have a Blitzcrank, threaten them if they want to try and poke you. But there we go, hook comes out.
Hook and binding. Exhaust is going to come down onto Chris Meister. He's going to fall very low, but Eric the Punisher now has to back off as Shot is putting back a good amount of damage. And all in all, that's going to be a favorable trade for Tartarus.
Yeah, absolutely. They were losing the lane, and now they're winning, I would say. But they are down potions, so you can take that however you want. But it does look like Olaf is taking the advantage. He's already set up for the Scuttle Crab up top. They used that extra vision to realize Hecarim was behind, and he didn't even go for his buff, actually. Like, that's interesting. He's level 2 on the Scuttle Crab, trying to get that before Hecarim can. Hecarim,
yeah,
I guess it's just going to go bottom side.
Yeah, Hecarim not actually even looking for that Scuttle Crab. I would have expected a little bit more aggression, just to even try to spot out, like, see if the jungler's taking it. But maybe he might have been tracking the path and been like, okay, he got blue. Now he's headed down towards bot side Scuttle Crab, so I might see him there. But yeah, and you see Olaf is not actually even taking his blue. Now he's headed down for the other Scuttle Crab, which he's just going to miss.
Ouch. Yeah.
And that's going to hurt him quite a bit. I mean, he's down in CS, and he's going to look for the invade here too, and he's not actually going to find any jungle camps to take.
Unless he goes over the Gromp. Yeah, I mean, like, I guess he's going for the respawn of the camps, but either that or it was a miscalculation. But, like, generally speaking, not the best movements coming out from Olaf. I think he just is trying to outplay the jungler in a way that he doesn't need to do. Just farm up. And he's getting engaged on.
Yeah, In Defiance is going to get taken very low. I don't think he's going to make it out of there, and that's going to be first blood going over to the Hecarim. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Shot's going to get locked up in the pool. Does take a lot of damage, but he's not going to go down.
Yep. Looks like maybe they thought they were safe knowing that Hecarim was around and got pulled for it. But yeah, looks like Shin's doing pretty dang well against Lucian in the top lane.
Ooh, hook landing. Shot not going to get locked up by the Dark Binding. Has to flash out. I think he's actually safe. That was a huge misplay by Best Mustache.
Yes, it was. That was guaranteed a kill. But unfortunately, the Binding doesn't land, and he's out of there. Stepping up again. Still not going to be enough. Hecarim's going to go ahead and gank.
Yeah, and Mustache may have overstayed a little bit here. The teleport's going to come through, and that should ward off Navy Caboose. As we see jungler response as well. But again, Olaf's still not farming. He's still not taking his blue buff. As we see, Navy Caboose actually getting caught out, and that right as I said it, Caster's Curse in Defiance going to catch himself up just by getting a kill.
Yeah, now both junglers 1-1, and Olaf heading towards the dragon, trying to help his team out. And that's an interesting move to do as well. Nivea's egg is going to get popped, but no kill because LeBlanc is doomed. But yeah, so generally speaking, when you're behind on a jungler, you want to get ahead or catch up. You just killed Hecarim, so Olaf is actually going to opt into a different route and try and get his team ahead by sacrificing his own CS to get Dragon for his entire team. But if Olaf wants to be that frontline heavy carry, which he's the only frontline, by the way, if Blitz is going to be like healing or just like on pick duty. So being the only frontline, you really do want to get ahead. So I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out. If he's actually going to be able to snowball still by sacrificing so much time getting that dragon. As you can see, he's almost 10 CS down instead of like a camp. So yeah, the sacrifice for the team. I like to see it.
Yeah, he is playing selflessly. We do see Navy Caboose getting that first blue buff. I still am baffled by the fact that it's 6 minutes and 44 seconds into the game, and that blue buff just got taken. But we do see a gank in the mid lane. Queen is actually going to get the stun under the turret. A great wall! And Queen Me is going to pick up a kill for herself.
Who is this guy? Comparable to Froggen. That outplay was insane. Well played, Anivia. Yeah, and on one of my favorite skins as well, showing off. Little birdie. The little birdie whispered in his ear. And kills him.
That was a great play. And that's going to affect the mid lane pretty substantially. Navy Caboose, so far, his ganks have not really done too much. I'm actually going back to that bot lane where he first died. I don't really know why he died. He just kind of stepped up and got hit by a binding. So that seems a little out of the ordinary to me.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe they thought they could re-engage or something. I agree with you. Misplay. Olaf's gonna get spotted out. He is only level 5. Both junglers are level 5 actually. Nothing too pretty there, but mid laners and top laners popping off on both sides. They're both CSing well. Shin is down in CS, but like that's to be expected a little bit. And the wave is crashing towards him, so maybe he'll catch up. But honestly, Shin is doing really well into a ranged matchup. Yeah. And props to Red Flame Evolve.
He keeps getting abused in that top lane, but he seems to be able to CS fairly effectively. His teleport is halfway back to being up. And yeah, he's not doing too bad for himself as he gets a bit of damage down onto Almont. Ultimate's going to come out. Yep, Red Flame might be in a little bit of trouble as the dive is going to come through. Red Flame is below 100 health, and that should be an easy pickup. Does blow the ulti, I'm not quite sure why. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Navy Caboose going to get the knockback onto Best Mustache. Ult's going to come out for Ziggs, but not enough damage. And again, Tartarus coming ahead on those.
Absolutely, and LeBlanc was there, forced the TP out of Anivia, so that is a summoner advantage there. But did he also lost the Shen TP, I guess, or his ultimate? I guess he was trying to like ult out, but just a little too low on the HP for that to be executed. Nice try though, good thought. Yeah, and I'm honestly favoring LeBlanc coming out into the later stages in the game. Olaf, while he does have some kills, is going to be relatively squishy, depending on what he builds next. He's missing out on all his camps, so like his buffs. So even though his CS is decent, he's actually way more behind in gold than you would expect. And like he missed the bottom scuttle crab and like wasted all this time. So I think LeBlanc is going to be able to just one-shot Lucian, Olaf, heck, she could play front to back, and Morgana is also going to be very squishy. So LeBlanc is very ahead, has a blue buff for herself, and is looking to snowball her lead, honestly. And look at her items. She even has, I forgot what that's called, but
the Dark Seal?
Dark Seal, there we go. And maybe might build it into a full Magias. And yeah, she already knows that she's in a position to start carrying the game. So
yeah, I think it's like about somewhere around 10 stacks where that Magi's actually starts becoming cost effective. So getting the Dark Seal early and building up your stacks on it, or trying to, is a pretty safe way of playing it. Because if you end up buying it and it doesn't work out, you sell it, you only lose about like 180 gold. That's like 2 pink worth. It's not too bad. So it's worth buying at the beginning to see if you're getting kills. And then if you start snowballing build it into the Magi's, and it can snowball you pretty fast.
Yes, it can, and she took Ignite, so she's trying to get a lead for herself. Anivia is playing out of her mind, though, and preventing ganks, getting a kill for herself as well. But yeah, I like to see the confidence still from the LeBlanc player. As we know, World Class Esports has a big ego, has a reason for the ego, and top lane,
Again, the dive is going to come through. Red Flame might not make it. No, he's not going to make it out of that one. All Might not getting the kill. In Defiance will pick it up, and the Herald is going to get dropped in the top lane. So a ton of stacks going over to that Lucian as well. 3 assists on him. He is going to be really strong going into mid game.
Absolutely a monster. He's going to have his Blade of the Rune King for sure at this point. And his team, or sorry, not his team. Wait, is this his team? No, he's blue side. Okay.
He's blue side, yep.
You might be getting cut out.
Yeah, and World Class is trying to capitalize on the commitment in the top lane. We see Eric the Punisher in the back line. He's taking a lot of damage, does jump over the wall. Navy Caboose is going to follow him. He's going to try to speed away, but won't end up getting out. Meanwhile, Queen Me is going to get jumped on from over the wall. And it looks like Tartarus may have just committed a little bit too hard, not having all 5 members there.
Yeah, but Best Mustache is going to get chased down as well. Please don't commit. You're going to die. All right. He backs off. But
LeBlanc's on the back side, though. She's going to pick this one up.
For sure. Should be easy. Oh,
easy pickup.
Shot's just going to flash over.
I don't know why Shot took that kill. That seems a little BM right there. We see the replay here.
So, looking at the stacks, after this assist, LeBlanc is already at 5 stacks from a single team fight. Nasty. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. The replay was a little bit of the lull state, but pretty cool nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely. And LeBlanc is starting to pop off. She got 2 kills for herself and an assist, has bounty on her head, and has 5 stacks. Has Luden's Echo. It's gonna be rough. Like, Anivia doesn't even have egg now, and she's gonna be able to get poked out. It's going to be exciting to see LeBlanc continue that pressure. And yeah, like you said, Predictive Tartarus. Over-committing, definitely. Like, you just use Rift Top. You don't have the resources to immediately contest Dragon. Either give it up or wait until all 5 members can come and then go in. But Blitz was like going ham on
he was in the pit the whole time. It was I've never seen a Blitzcrank frontline so well.
Yeah, he actually popped off and almost killed the Hecarim, but like Olaf wasn't even at the mid lane yet, and he's like in the pit just wailing on Hecarim. So a little bit of an overcommit here. Chris Meister going ham, or getting hammed on.
Yeah, he's getting hammed on real hard. In Defiance going to pick himself up a 4th kill as we see Pantheon coming through, but the wave's going to get pushed up there, so easy way out for In Defiance.
Easy. Now they're on to another turret again. Pushing out, and Pantheon by himself here. A little bit difficult to tower dive a Pantheon. Here comes the chain.
Yeah, there's going to get the lockdown, the fear, the knock back, and that's going to be Anivia going down. No egg to be seen. Teleport's going to come through from All Might. He blows the Blade of the Rune King, but not able to actually get anything done.
No, he's not. Chris Meister had also TP'd in, and the Shin. Oh, never mind.
Nice hook coming out onto Shot there. He's going to try to avoid some damage as the Hecarim is going to join this fight. And this could actually be really bad for the team. Kill is going to get picked up, but that's going to be 2 members of Tartarus going down. And things are not seeming as good as they were a few minutes ago. 500 gold lead for Tartarus, but looking in that mid lane, 3 kills on the LeBlanc.
Yep, and here's the replay. Both of them get dying almost simultaneously, the Morgana and the Pantheon. So like just a second earlier, and Pantheon wouldn't even have died because Morgana just got taken out so quickly. And yeah, like you said, 500 gold lead has turned to a 0 gold lead now. It's like actually World Class Esports is technically ahead. They're just creeping up, and that just goes to show how good they are at macroing, out macroing their team. LeBlanc gonna skirmish a little bit with Lucian, and they take about even damage. But you have to keep in mind, Small Duck, all the gold is on Lucian pretty much. Lucian and Olaf. So that's very easy to itemize against. All you need is a little bit of armor, which Shin has a crap ton of, already has a Sunfire, and you're good to go. Their front line is set up. They can 5v5 any of these fights that they want to at this point, I feel like.
Yeah, I think things are going to get harder and harder for Tartarus as the game goes on. We do see the lane swap coming out for Almot. He's going to go in the mid lane and try to rival Great Scruff. And so far, it's not looking great. He traded fairly evenly, but I don't think that the Lucian completely wins that matchup.
No.
There's outplay potential, but I don't think it favors him at all.
No, it's definitely a lot more difficult for him, and like you have to have everything up, whereas LeBlanc doesn't. Okay, a nice little scout there from LeBlanc to notice that Blitzcrank was hiding around the corner, and yeah, both teams just kind of playing it out. A nice little pickup by Tartarus, or Predictive Tartarus.
Eric may have overstepped a little bit there, and that kill is going to go over to Navy Caboose. It's crazy the 180 Navy Caboose has pulled here. He started this game out real rough, dying in 2 ganks, and now he's 4-2-2. So he's come back a long ways.
Yes, he has. Not taking off the gas pedal at all, despite the early outplays against him. And yeah, a little bit of a misplay by Blitzcrank there. Like, they knew that they had just gotten rift, so they're like, oh, let's sneak in this bush, maybe get a little pick here. Unfortunately, the whole team came at the same time and just picked him off. So yeah, they tried to make an opportunity to place rift, but World Class Esports kind of, I guess, sniffed it out, and they're on the higher foot again.
And great job by World Class recognizing the invades from Predictive Gaming. If you look at the vision right now, of course, Lucian's going to take one of them. There were 5 pink wards scattered across the entire jungle for World Class. As we see Best Mustache actually going to take a lot of damage here. Has to burn the Zanyas, but he is going to end up going down. Queen Me is going to join the fight. Does get the stun down. Lots of damage coming out, but the Shen ultimate is going to come through. Great Scruff just going to try to find his way out. Meanwhile, the Dragon is getting taken by Navy Caboose. Lots going in the favor of World Class right there.
Yep, making a gold advantage for themselves and picking up the second dragon of the game. And I think that's a very key dragon for them. If they get this soul, that is 30% extra cooldown reduction on their ults, on 2 semi-global ultimates, and 3 if you include Ziggs. So their ability to move around the map is just going to be exponentially increased. Plus, you have the extra movement speed in the jungle for Hecarim. Like, you don't want to take fights there. He's just going to have a damage boost for free. And it's not looking good for Predictive Tartarus. But World Class Esports is on fire.
Yeah, Predictive Tartarus, I think the thing that's keeping them in this game right now is the Rift Heralds. Getting those 2 top lane turrets has given them a substantial gold lead, which at this point they are about 1k behind, as we do see the bottom turret falling. But I think that's really what's keeping them in this game is they're still playing around objectives. They're not getting the same objectives, and I would like to see them stack up the dragons a little bit more, but they are still getting objectives and still putting up a fight in this game for sure.
Absolutely. It looks like they tried to prioritize getting gold leads, and Lucian has the gold, but they're not really playing around him. I feel like they're engaging when he's not there, he's not ready. And to World Class Esports, never mind, hang on, we got a hook.
Hook's gonna land, and Shot is just gonna get taken down here. And that's the potential you have with the Blitzcrank. Just being able to get those picks literally out of nowhere.
Yes, perfect. They got themselves a good advantage, but look at the top lane. Lucian is almost dead, has to completely back off to the LeBlanc. She's just smashing him in lane. So once again, they're not playing around the Lucian, and he's just getting left to fight the strongest member of World Class Esports. That's not what you want to do with the lead. Send him to mid lane. Put him in a place where people are constantly around him, as opposed to in the side lane still, where he's just getting bodied by the other side laner who's way more fed than he is at this point. 4 kills to 0. So
the problem we see is that I don't think anybody can match Great Scruff at this point. He is so strong on that LeBlanc. He's got 10 stacks on the Magi's, and I only see that going up.
I mean, that is a good point. However, I feel like snare champions, Lux and Morgana, are very good into LeBlanc. Because if she tries to jump in like that and take half your HP, you can at least stop him. Oh! The whole cavalry!
Yeah, everybody coming in the top lane.
Poor guy. And you see the Pantheon ult on top of the Hecarim ult? That looks sick. But
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? You can't get out of that.
I don't think
Man.
it looked really cool from Almond's perspective there, but yeah, it definitely looked cool.
Like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. So I think Morgana would be better in the side lane here. Just put Lucian in a place where he's safer in the shorter lane with more people around. I think that's the best bet here. Looks like Hector's gonna engage.
And Caboose might find himself some more here. Stand United is going to come down. Best Mustache takes a lot of damage, will end up falling, has to burn that Zonia's, but he's going to die as soon as he gets back up. And that's going to be another kill picked up. Dragon in 1 minute and 30 seconds. World Class Esports ruling the map right now.
Yes, they are. And pushing their advantage, pushing their vision. As you said, World Class Esports had all the pink wards in the
Eric.
Yeah.
That is so much damage coming from the LeBlanc.
Yeah, and I really like your point to World Class Esports vision control. They have a Blitzcrank that they have to worry about. Most of it's defensive, but heck,
yeah,
they're the only team with pink wards on the map yet again.
I just want to, like, real quick, you know, from speaking to my team, you know, Predictive Tartarus, please get those pink wards out of your inventory and onto the map. It's been like, it's been bothering me like the whole game. All 5 of them have pink wards in their inventory, but they're not getting placed. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe they're holding them and there's something we don't know, but it seems like they are getting outclassed when it comes to vision.
Yep, and they're pretty good about clearing vision with like sweepers. There you go. Now they're placing them. They got on the map.
See, all it took was me saying it, and now they're establishing vision, setting up for the objective. 23 seconds until Dragon spawns, and hopefully, Predictive Gaming can secure this one. Otherwise, it's going to be soul point for World Class Esports.
Yep, and there we go. We got a hook. Ooh, LeBlanc's gonna go over the wall here.
Great Scruff getting so much damage down. Navy Caboose from the backside to be able to pick up the kill. And now all of Predictive Gaming Tartarus is going to be in big trouble. A whole bunch of people jumping over the wall on Shadow on. I can't speak. Queen going to go down into egg form there. Eric is going to fall as well. 1 kill is going to get picked back up for that Lucian. But Predictive Gaming Tartarus, no, they're going to get Caboose as well, evening things up. Actually, no, they got 3 kills. That did not work at all for World Class Esports.
No, it looked good. They had the confidence to engage, pull the trigger, but then Anivia is honestly just stopping Shin from going in with her ultimate. The wall also and the ultimate combined get Hecarim to die as well. The front line are just getting smashed by Queen. Popping off on Anivia here. Ooh, no, LeBlanc's not going to find a pick either. So they lose the Dragon. They lose out on the trade, and now there's a gold lead back in favor of Predictive Tartarus. Very well.
Yeah, great Scruff trying to look for those kills over the wall. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, looking at the kills, we've got a kill a minute right now. It's been pretty exciting so far. The gold lead is neck and neck, and 2 dragons to 2. I honestly don't think we could have asked for a better game 1 from our top 2 teams in the league.
For real, a banger for sure. And we see why both of these teams have such a high KDA and so many kills per game. They're just both all in. They don't give up objectives. The Rifts got traded for Dragons, but that's a trade. That's not giving it up. And it just happens time and time again. Whenever an objective is on the map, both teams are ready to set up and they're ready to fight. It goes back and forth. Both teams win and then they don't win. It's like, I don't know. You just never know who's going to win this game. You can't count them out.
Yeah, it's very, very back and forth. And one thing I do have to say is Tartarus has played the objectives a little. Ooh, you see Queen getting really bursted here in the top lane. Going to take a lot of damage. Very low. The stun does come out, but not enough back. Queen almost fought back there. That's the closest we've seen to killing that LeBlanc 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, if LeBlanc had if Anivia had a few more kills, I think she actually wins that. But 22 Majaya stacks, yeah, you don't.
Oh my goodness.
You just can't beat that. Hector's getting pushed out of his own jungle here. Hook doesn't land. Nice dodge by Caboose there. Changing up his movements. It's a fun thing to do when you play a fast champion. You're just all over the map. You can juke no matter what's thrown at you.
Hecarim is a speedy boy.
Yes, he is, especially with that Cloud Drake. Oh, gotta love it. I love playing Hecarim. and this is one of the best souls that you can get for him, I believe, just because the map changes. But yeah, who do you think is going to be coming out on top here? Because I'm going to ask you this, Small Dog. Because just as far as carries showing off, like, who do you think has the better carries? Let's ask you that instead.
Wow, that's a pretty tough question. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really close game, and at this point, it's really tough to call. Honestly, Great Scruff has looked untouchable, but the problem is, and I've seen this with LeBlanc in compositions before, is that she's in and out. She doesn't have sustainable damage. So we see Eric the Punisher is going to take a lot of punishment right there. Lockup does come out onto maybe Caboose, and Great Scuff's going to be on the back line to finish off that kill. Indefiance has to run away, does get stunned up, taking a whole bunch of damage. Great Scruff there just to clean up the fight, and Chris Meister getting a kill for himself, and that kill actually went over a shot. So 3 kills getting picked up for nothing for World Class Esports, and they're looking for more. Ignite's going to be down. Great Scuff getting his 8th kill of the game.
Well played. You just talked about how he doesn't have sustained damage, but he's popping off, getting kill after kill for his team. He doesn't need to sustain damage. All he needs is that burst, and he is at 25 stacks, has his Zonias, 3 items up. He is looking to snowball this game. Wow. But
yeah,
come on, man. You're popping off too. Calm down, dude.
See, that's the hard thing about these teams is like every time you're like, you know, I think this team could do this, they just kind of shut us up and show us what they can do instead.
True that. I mean, Scruff just with great positioning all around, and you see that if you don't, like, you have to have good vision control against the Blitz, but you also have to have good vision control against an assassin like LeBlanc that has a, like a 7-second jump cooldown, is all over the map. So the lack of vision really coming to bite Predictive in the butt here, nipping them a little bit. But you know, when something's chasing after you, hopefully it kicks in some adrenaline and they start pushing for the win. As we have a little bit of a pause here, hopefully no one's disconnecting. But
yeah, so the pause will give us a bit of time to discuss the game state here. If we're looking at the bot lane, I think this is one of the problems that Predictive Gaming Tartarus has to identify going into game number 2, win or lose. I'm not saying, you know, they've lost this game and they've got to fix things for next game, but looking at the stats alone, you've got 1-6-3 on the Morgana, 1-5-4 on your Blitzcrank. They're definitely not pulling their weight in this game right here. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that they're not respecting LeBlanc in a lot of these fights. You know, like you said, there's a lot of vision out for World Class trying to spot out the Blitzcrank, play safe around that. But there's not really as much safety vision. And then, of course, if you don't have vision, just respect that. You know, you have an 8-0 and 7 LeBlanc in the jungle. And with 25 Magi stacks, just respect the fact that she could be anywhere if you haven't seen her. Like, just be a little more careful.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And if you look at the top lane CS differential, it's pretty disgusting. Almost 100, 30 shy of 100. I'll say it. It's about 100 CS diff if you also include the kills that Lucian has. Granted, Shin has more assists, but not by many. So Lucian has 3 items. LeBlanc has 3 items. So it's really, like you said, just right now it's a bot gap. Like, they're just not showing up. Blitz is taking fights that he doesn't need to. He's not really playing that pick role. Morgana also just isn't landing bindings. And if they do, they're so slow to follow up on that they end up dying as well, like we saw when they tried to kill the Pantheon. So I think World Class Esports, their draft just makes it difficult for Predictive Tartarus to have that. First off, I'll say this: Predictive Tartarus needs to push their vision a little bit better. But also World Class Esports has it a lot easier if they want to get vision. You have LeBlanc that can jump over walls, Hecarim super fast, Shin can also TP in if they need help, and like it's really hard to catch a Pantheon. So to Predictives, I guess, like to have a little bit of mercy on the fact that they don't have good vision control, it is a lot easier for them to just lose out on vision control because Ziggs is pushing in, and it's also just so much easier for World Class Esports to clear everything out and place vision. But either way, if you're gonna have a pick comp, you have to focus on vision. Like that has to be one of your strongest suits, and it's just not happening. And so bottom lane is just it's a bot gap because of that, I think, as well.
I think you're totally right. I think a lot of this comes back to the draft as well. You were talking at the very beginning of the game how we don't have a dedicated tank for the side of Predictive Gaming Tartarus, and that so far has kind of bit them in the butt a little bit. I think that assists with vision so much, having a tank to be able to face check bushes, walk up and just secure established dominance in a certain area. As we see Almond actually dealing a lot of damage in the top lane. Red Flame is going to get taken down. Maybe, oh, Eric's there to pick up a hook. Nice assist right there. As we see now in the bot lane, Ragnarok having to get popped just so Indefiance can get out. But we see an ult out for Navy Caboose. Chris Meister a little bit caught out. We were talking about his immobility and now going to go down. Best Mustache, meanwhile, in the bot lane is going to get taken out. And so we just see action all across the board.
Absolute chaos. Like how do you provide structure in an environment like this? Just all over fights. And yeah, it is going to come out in favor of Tartarus, Predictive Tartarus, I should say. And yeah, they're on Soul Point now, doing well for themselves, despite the fact that LeBlanc is disgustingly fed. And I think they're going to come back. Like, that's huge. Now they have 2 win cons, Soul and Baron.
Yeah,
you know?
that is absolutely a possibility, and one that I think World Class Esports has to be cognizant of. I don't think that they can play this game as reckless as they've been. I think they need to slow it down, figure out what works for them, and play with that. Because ultimately, I think scaling World Class Esports wins this. They have the tanks. They can play that front to back. They have a lot of power picks, and I feel like that bot lane being so behind for Predictive Gaming Tartarus is something that is going to be more and more difficult as the game goes on.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And yes, lol whoopa, I agree with you. I meant to say that not Soul, but Elder Dragon is a win con. They are pushing to that though, and with this lead that they have, or are starting to get back, I guess, they are able to completely smash. And the key thing is, if you steal away these dragons from a composition that relies heavily on ultimates and that global presence, if you take that away from them, that does help your win con. So tremendously pushes them into an advantage by taking the advantage away from their opponent. If you put them in a crappy spot, they can't really do as much as their comp is designed to do, and you just push leads by using that. Oh! No! Oh. It's alright, dude. It happens.
It happens to the best. Yeah, not a Mad Life hook right there, but maybe he was trying to predict the movement and just got it wrong.
Not a Mad Life hook indeed.
Yeah, we see Great Scuff right here. Gonna get the lockdown onto Queen and Queen putting back some damage, but Egg is gonna come out. I think Great Scuff is gonna be able to burst that down as we see Shot gonna get taken real low. Stand United is gonna come through. Unstoppable coming out for Indefiance. He's gonna be able to get away. And all in all, 1 kill traded over for Tartarus to and they didn't end up getting that Queen in the top lane.
No, absolutely crazy. So while the fight was happening in bottom lane, Anivia was almost getting picked in the top. So Lucian TP's up to save her. And World Esports still loses the fight in bottom lane without the most fed carry on the team. Like, that's crazy. That's a huge win for Predictive Tartarus, in my opinion. It already shows that their ability to team fight without numbers is starting to show off. Like, I don't know if it's just the CC chain or what, but they win on both sides of the map there, technically speaking. So very well played. They're coming back.
Yeah, and looking at the gold right now, as we see it up, mid lane is up 2,000 gold. We've seen just now, just recently, the Rabadon's death cap is going to come out for that LeBlanc now. So she is super duper strong, almost being able to burst out Queen in the top lane. I think the problem, though, is that the gold is almost concentrated too much on that mid lane. As you see, 11,000 for the Hecarim. He is fairly fed himself, but the bot lane really feeling like a non-factor for both teams this game.
Yep, they picked some off-meta stuff. The hook is gonna land into the binding. No, it's not gonna land. Yep,
Shot taking a lot of damage from Almond though, but Almond's got to be careful right over that blue buff. They do have wards on it, so they're respecting LeBlanc this time.
Good vision. They're
good vision.
See, they're improving over time, and that's what you need to see in top tier teams. World Class Esports, I know from last split, they have shown that they can adapt to any situation and still play well. Predictive Tartarus started out looking a little iffy in their ability to adapt, but is starting to learn from their mistakes and definitely is proving why they're a top team as well. And they're giving us a heck of a game. Like, man, this is going to go all the way to a Baron or maybe even Elder. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to come down to like something insane, like 50-50 Baron smite while somebody's TPing into the base, trying to backdoor. I can't wait to see this. I mean, there's double teleports on both sides, so anything could honestly happen. I could see Almont split pushing this game quite a bit. Having him go up against LeBlanc though, it's just really tough. I think that's what's preventing Tartarus from using like a split push and sieging up on any towers, is just the fact that they can't rival that LeBlanc. And so far, World Class Esports has been, bottlenecked by the fact that they can't actually get any team fights to work in their favor either. Tartarus playing those very, very well.
I completely agree. And we have a little bit of a skirmish because they know this is the whole point. That's just going ham.
Hecarim going right into the middle of the team. He's going to end up going down. And a lot of damage coming back onto Indefiance. Shot now going to be in a lot of trouble. Does end up going down to the culling. Meanwhile, Red Flame's going to be right in the middle of the team. Indefiance taking a lot of damage from that. Ziggs has to flash out, but Red Flame is going to go down, as well as Chris Meister, and Great Scuff is the only one left alive. They did get 2 kills, but again, another team fight won, and Tartarus is going to pick up the Dragon Soul.
Yes, they are denying the cooldown reductions on the ultimate. LeBlanc barely gets out of that with her life. Jeez.
That was sketchy.
Yeah. And yeah, what a game. Predictive Tartarus coming back, showing that they are boss. They are 2k gold down, but they win fight after fight after fight. They picked up soul for themselves, denying that from a heavy ultimate-oriented composition. And now we're looking towards a Baron, hopefully, or Elder, one of the two. But they weren't able to get any pushes off because their waves just weren't in a good position here. But again, remember, with Anivia, they can stall for however long that they want. And Ziggs can do the same, but he's behind. So maybe not as much. Yeah.
Yeah, Anivia scales really well. Honestly, I keep saying I feel like World Class has the better end game, late game comp, but Anivia scales really well. Best Mustache is slowly getting more and more farm. Olaf is going to fall off quite a bit, but they've got some good late game power.
They do. It's a different kind of play style.
It is.
It has a power in its own right. Okay. Yeah, see, that is the vision control that we talked about. Why it's so difficult for Predictive to get that vision control. It's just so difficult to contest, especially with the LeBlanc so fed. And good on Great Scruff for not dying. If he didn't have those stacks, I think with how these team fights are going, they would be in a lot worse of a position. So he's definitely keeping his team afloat here. We'll see how long he can manage that. But I don't know. I'm starting to like Predictive, man. They are showing me like a lot of crazy stuff happening, and I really like it.
This game is honestly a back and forth. Predictive, they're still 2k behind, but it honestly doesn't feel like that. They have the Dragon Soul. They have these team fights seemingly in the bag, and they've also just got so much pick potential. And again, I have no idea what Shot is doing. He is way too far ahead of his team. They are bot lane trying to respond to this, and that might be the Baron right there.
I think it will be. They're already onto it. We'll see if they're able to pick it up, but with the 4v5 and they're already losing fights, it's got to be it. Hecarim's coming around the backside. He might try and get a steal coming in. Zigzel's going to come down. It's not going to be enough. Hecarim's going to go way too late. He's going to be stuck in late. He has his ghost. Buddy, you're gone. Unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. So much swinging for Tartarus right there. Oh my goodness. That is huge. Now they get the Baron. Now they're going to be able to actually crack these the base a little bit.
Yep. They're not even going to base after that. Like, they're just going straight for the inhib. They're trying to close out this game. They know that, like you said, maybe they don't scale as good as the other team, I mean. And yeah, they're going to end it maybe soon. You think they're going to do it right now? This push?
I think they can take this. Navy Caboose is not going to be up for 20 seconds here. Inhib tower will go down. Inhib sure to fall after. Ult's coming out from Ziggs. A lot of damage falling on the side of Tartarus. Flash come out. And I think Tartarus just backs off after this if they can.
Yeah, they're going to get chased down though. Reminds me of like a TSM versus, what was it, Team Liquid game where they just get chased down after getting something. Okay, they are gonna make it out safe. It looks like they do have a recall. No, the Pantheon ultimate,
and we see the Stand United as well. Unstoppable gonna come out for the Olaf. Queen Bee now gonna try to make her way back as Almont putting back a lot of damage. Taunt not gonna land, and Queen Bee's in a really bad spot. First pops to the Seraphs, but way too deep from Navy Caboose. He's gonna end up going down, and another kill picked up in return. Almont is not done with this fight. He's gonna get locked down though. Great Scuff, gonna be able to hop over that wall and dish out some serious damage. And I'm so sad. Shot keeps stealing all the kills for these team fights.
He heard you, man. He's like, what do you mean? And he's popping off now. But honestly, that damage on the Lucian between the Ziggs and the Pantheon, he just disappeared. And World Class Esports, that was crazy. You'd think it wouldn't work, but man, they didn't even need full HP bars. They just chased them down. And now they can't even use their Baron. They have to wait for another Baron or for the Elder that's coming up in 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. It is a banger of a game. Let us know who you think is going to win now in the chat. We had a poll at the beginning, but what do you guys think now? World Class Esports or Predictive Tartarus? Who's going to win? Let us know.
So much pride on the line for this game. It feels like both teams want this so bad, and this is only the first game of a best of 3. So I hope this one goes the distance and we get to see game number 3.
That would rustle my jimmies in a well.
No. Finish that.
So, Ricky Salsa, dude, World Class Esports win is what he says. Anybody else? What's gonna happen? People are calling out Scruff all over the place. He's popping off.
He is 10, 0, and 10 on LeBlanc. Full build. He's got the Void Staff now to pen through whatever little magic resist they do have. They did get the Locket, so a little bit of magic resist coming out from In Defiance. And we do see Poke coming out from Chris Meister. He's slowly scaling up in this game too.
Yep, and most people have Merc Treads and then a Mob and Malmortius on Vision. So
almost getting caught out here. We do see the Onslaught of Shadows coming through. Kill's gonna get picked up for Scruff. As we see Taunt gonna come out onto Almont. Not enough damage to follow though. Great zoning. And that's the Anivia. You gotta respect those tight corridors. Now Eric the Punisher is gonna take a lot of damage. Anivia is gonna get 1 kill. And the lockup, the Soul Shackle is gonna come down. And Zhonya's comes through and the shutdown's gonna go over to Best Mustache. He's gonna get Great Scuff, his first kill of the game. And that's a huge pickup for Predictive Gaming Tartarus.
That is gonna be the game. They both TP'd in. They're actually just gonna end it right here and right now. We have game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, going over to Predictive Tartarus after an incredible comeback and an ace for Predictive. Well played.
What an insane game that was. 41 minutes. Oh my gosh. 26 kills to 27. And right at the end of the game, 72k to 71. That couldn't be any closer of a game. Predictive Gaming Tartarus is going to pick up game number 1. I cannot wait for game number 2. I think World Class has it in them. We'll see what happens.
We'll definitely see. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, but game number 2 is going to be just as much of a banger. So stick around. We'll see you soon. Stay. Tell me when. Oh,
Welcome back to game number 2 of World Class Esports versus Predictive Gaming Tartarus. I definitely feel energized after game number 1. How you feeling, Turtle? You excited?
oh, I am so excited.
I'm ready for this.
Dude. This has been a banger so far. Honestly, it's a blast to shoutcast a game that's so crazy. So I really am enjoying this game series so far. Hopefully everybody else is enjoying it, and we're gonna get a poll in the chat here in just a minute. Here's my little puppy. Wait, come here. In a little bit, and yeah, we'll see. Who do you guys think is gonna win game number 2? Predictive Tartarus or world class esports? Let us know in the poll.
I think World Class can take game number 2 here. I really do. They I mean, if you looking at the damage graph last game, they had so much more damage dealt than Predictive Gaming. I think it's just that overall macro play. And we saw it at the beginning of the game. I think it was just honestly the team fights that they couldn't get they couldn't get the team coordinated. They couldn't get the plays to happen. So but a different draft, different game. We do see the Morgana getting banned away. So targeting that bot lane, Best Mustache will not see that one again. And again, we do see similar bans as last game for Tartarus, banning out that mid lane.
Easy peasy. Yeah, and a completely different pick for Queen here. If that's actually going to be the Camille mid against the Nico. Yeah, team comp's completely switching up except for Almwat on the Lucian there. And Red Flame Evolve, I called it. He loves to play carry champions, especially the Vladimir. They did allow that to go through this time, so we'll see if he's able to hyper carry like he likes to do. And I don't know. Well, I'm curious. What do you think the bottom lane matchup is going to be this time? Off meta or meta?
I'm judging my last game, it's going to be totally wild. It's going to be something like Anivia and Rammus, you know? Like, it's going to be something completely... it's going to be something like we've never seen before, but I'm excited for it. We see that Nico getting picked up in that mid lane. That's a pretty interesting pick. It looks like it's coming in as the counter for the Camille. And
yeah, I would imagine so.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I imagine so. Yeah, but go ahead.
So I wanted to point out that Predictive Gaming Tartarus is going to be on blue side again. So 2 games in a row now going for that blue side. I don't actually know who picks. I believe it would be the loser, but I could be wrong.
I think it just switches off. I don't know. We'll find out the rules for you guys here and clarify them.
Yeah, really
yeah. So I kind of like the what's up?
Sorry, I was just saying more standard bot lanes.
Oh, yes, and I'm actually kind of glad because neither of the bottom lanes were that effective. I feel like last game they just kind of fell off, and there's a reason there's a meta pick. And sometimes you can make creative picks work, but when you have 2 bottom lanes that are just like completely out of the ordinary, unless you've practiced with that, you're not going to be used to having a different kind of damage output, because I feel like Ziggs is more bursty. You don't have an ADC just constantly dealing damage. So both teams felt kind of clunky in team fights. People just blowing up for no reason, overextending. And I feel like that has a lot to do with picking non-meta picks and the bottom lane. They're just not accustomed to it. But you talked about more meta picks, or at least somewhat so. What do you think about the bottom lane matchup? Who does it favor in the early game?
I think early game, this is probably going to go in the favor of the Ezreal Leona. I think there's a little bit more aggression on this side. And also looking at the players we've seen, Chris Meister and Shot especially likes to be very aggressive. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of bullying out happening in that bot lane. But Braum is not a bad pick into the Leona. You can knock her up with the ultimate. I'm forgetting the name of it right now. But you can knock... Yeah, you can knock her up and counter the Zenith Blade with that post 6. But yeah, I think that's going to go in the favor of World Class. We also talked a little bit last game about how both of the bot lanes seem to not be very effective. So I think, well, I want to just take a step back. They weren't very effective in lane, but an interesting thing was the fact that going out of lane, they were both very, very useful. On the side of Tartarus, they had a lot of utility, a lot of pickability, and on the side of World Class Esports, you had that Pantheon ult coming up with that huge play, able to go right into the back with the Shen. And that dog is absolutely adorable, I just want to
say. Thank you very much. And I like it. I like the bottom lane picks. I like the supports a lot better from last game as well. I honestly, okay, World Class Esports. I got to talk about their bans really fast. Before we have 1 minute, guys. 1 minute until things are about to get wild. But if they didn't ban Morgana, think about it. Leona's completely useless. Nico can't really pick people out. Imagine a Camille with a black shield. That's just nasty. So very good bans on their part. And then banning out the Anivia, that's obvious. Like, obviously mid laners were picked second phase because Anivia, getting through again, that was just a nuisance. And one of the biggest reasons why Predictive won, I would say, just Queen dominating. But
so good.
I feel like World Class Esports learned their lesson. Their drafted looks a lot cleaner and is probably something that they're more used to playing with. So I'm expecting World Class Esports to have a cleaner game, and this is what they shine with. This is their bread and butter. So I'm looking for better execution on team fights. So I'm excited to see that. But let us know. We're going to have a poll pretty soon here in the chat. Let us know, who do you think is going to win again? Shout out to your favorite player, whatever you want. But they will be looking back at that, and it's always cool to see your support for those players. Let them know that you're doing good.
Yeah, and some pointing out, Black Bear pointing out in chat that Braum going to be able to block the Graves. There's actually a lot that Braum's going to be able to do in these team fights to mitigate damage to the carries. You've got pretty much all of the spells from Vladimir except for the pool and the ultimate. You also have the True Shot Barrage you can block. So Braum's going to be really useful in this game. Braum is now one of my favorite picks, but he's so good in team play, especially when there's all of those skill shots that you can get taken down by.
Yes, absolutely. And Braum, I actually really like him as a support as of recently. I more favor supports that are like that enable carries as opposed to like protect carries more so. Like Lulu, you give a speed buff, you give them tons of HP, you give them a shield and attack speed. Like, I really like that kind of a support style. In this meta, I feel like there's a lot of hyper carries, like Azir and just so many ADCs that are popping off right now. You enable them even further and give them free stats. I feel like that's way stronger than a Braum that can block a few skill shots, in my opinion. But Braum is also just a strong pick all around and scales especially well with the Lucian. So mid-game team fights, if they stick together, if they're butt buddies, they're going to be able to pop off, I think. And Almwat has already showed that he could do some work. So had top damage last game if you didn't get a chance to see the charts. So now he has a support that synergizes very well with him. And even though he's in the top lane, the mid game is going to be crazy if they put him in the mid lane instead of a side lane this time. Please.
Yeah, I do hope that he gets a little bit more focus from the team. We saw last game Almot kind of getting left to the wolves, I guess you would call it. Scruff was bullying him. We'll put it that way. But yeah, hopefully there's a little more focus around Almot and empowering him, getting him more ahead, because he definitely is a strong carry for this team. And to touch a little bit again on the Braum, I think we don't really see Braum picked quite as much in like solo queue just because he's a very linear champion. But here in competitive or structured team play, he's a lot stronger just because you can count on your team to actually do things. I feel like a lot of times in solo queue, if you pick Braum and your AD carry doesn't do anything, the rest of your team doesn't really do anything, like you have no potential to actually win the game. Not to say he's not a strong laner. He does have a lot of power, especially in his passive, being able to get stun out from like level 1 and synergizing very well with a lot of AD carries. It is a good pick. It's just a little bit more difficult, and I think that's reflected in his win rate looking at solo queue.
Absolutely. I agree. And plus, he's not like a playmaker. He's like a play preventer. So if your team, I don't
Yeah.
know, like, yeah, I'm super excited though. Omelette, if they focus more around him, he had top damage pretty much playing by himself for half the game. Like, no resources given to him at any point. If he gets a little bit of resources, I feel like this guy is just gonna smash his lane, his team fights, whatever. He's on a champion that has the 1v5 potential that a lot of famous ADCs are known to play. Top laners as well, not as common in the top lane, but you get the point. So poll is in the chat, everybody. Who do you think is gonna win game number 2? I'm going to go for World Class Esports. I like their draft a lot better. I've seen them play something like this similar, so I'm going to vote for them. Small Dog, nobody cares about your vote, so just go ahead and vote in the poll because no one wants to hear it. And I'm just going to give a quick shout out to the followers of the stream as we have a little bit of... nothing's happening. So honestly, thank you so much, Atlas Jungle, Hunter Will Steal, Official Hoodie Chris. I want one of those. Get me one of those. Will 120. Oh, Shockwave. World Class Esports. Straight up Merkin Kids. I like that name. And then Mozo. Thank you guys so much for your support. Welcome to the community. If you're first showing up here, or if you've been around and just now following, thank you so much either way. We're glad you're here. And we're about to see a jungle camp spawn. Oh, wait for it.
Red buff emerging from the ground, clawing himself from the depths just to get killed by Graves. It sucks. It really does suck to be a jungle camp.
But yeah, literally, especially the buff, the first buff of the game, just get gangbanged the second you exist in life.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm alive for the first time, and then instantly he just gets killed by some level 1 jungler.
It's amazing.
I'm excited for this game though. Looking at the poll, at first it was looking like 70% of you guys thought World Class was gonna win, but it has evened up. We've got 58% voting for World Class so far, and 42 Predictive Gaming Tartarus. Keep throwing in your votes. Let us know who you think is gonna win. I'm hoping, honestly.
Predictive head.
There's a lot of votes coming out for Predictive right now.
Crazy. Go ahead. What was your point?
I'm hoping World Class wins so we get a game number 3. This is a really exciting match between these two teams. If you haven't heard it, there's a huge rivalry between these teams. Last week, Predictive Gaming, favorite to win. Week number 1, World Class was the favorite. And last week, we also had 4 out of the 5 members of Predictive Gaming Tartarus as Player of the Week in their respective roles. So... Some pretty big plays, big heads on these players, I feel like right now.
Absolutely. And you know what the saying used to be, faker, play maker, but now it's changed. And these teams are popping off, making plays left and right. And once again, man, mid laner's just preventing ganks left and right. This time Great Scruff is under fire, but is able to defend himself quite well and almost picked up a kill. Like, if it was just a little bit further ahead, the Gragas is going to become Graggy Ice and just get killed. But yeah, some great plays coming out. I love to see early aggression. And Gragas is going to retreat into the scuttles.
Yeah, and something to note about that mid lane, Great Scruff did have to burn his Flash early on, so that's going to be down. And Flash still up for In Defiance, so he could look for a repeat gank. And again, an interesting strategy from In Defiance. Like, he never takes his blue buff. Like, last game he skipped it and just went straight to counter jungling, and he's gonna do it again in this game. We see Queen Me is gonna take a lot of damage, falls below 200 health, but does have that corrupting potion to sustain.
Yep, and I think this time.
I'm sorry, I have to interrupt you. The poll is 50-50 right now between
47 to 47. Wait, that's nuts.
I don't think that could tell you any better how close this matchup is. As we see a gank coming out in the top lane, Red Flame gonna get taken real low, has Flash available, but chooses not to use it. And that is not the guy you want to see getting fed on Predictive Gaming Tartarus.
No, and he's got double Dorans as a start because he hates this matchup. And then Vladimir's going to pick himself up a Cole. Already knows that this is GG for his lane. Lucian even has Biscuits plus the double Doran. He is going to be able to sustain anything that Vlad can throw at him. So you might as well just farm up. So very well played. Good gank coming out from Gragas. After the counter jungle, gank top lane. And it's looking very, very good for Predictive in game number 2 here. And I was going to say that Gragas, before we were in awe because of the polls, that Gragas had a little bit better of a counter jungling path this time, and then he immediately follows into a gank, like, as I was gonna call that out. So yeah, he's definitely stepping up from last game, making up for his the few mistakes that he made, and like getting himself behind for pretty much just, I don't know, kind of wandering the jungle. But this time it's completely different.
Yeah, and he does actually secure his blue buff this time, so I think he's gonna have a much better start than before. He is like about 10 CS behind, but I don't think that's gonna affect him too much.
No, and that's to be expected. Graves is nasty at power farming, and the fact that he's only down like 1 camp pretty much is pretty astonishing. The fact that he has already gotten a gank off and is staying up in CS, so going to be quite the matchup for sure, but both junglers taking on a different role. It's okay if Gragas gets a little bit behind unless he goes full AP, which looks like he's going to, but still a little bit more lenient towards the Gragas. And how do you think the bottom lane matchup's going? Do you think it's going as you expected? Because I feel Ez should be a little bit higher. I feel like Ez should be a little bit higher in CS.
Yeah, I think you're right. He does have a bit of a lead here as the early reset's going to come out for Tartarus. Pushed under turret. I think, yeah, he's going to have a little bit of a hard time in this mid game just because he's only got that tier, so there's no damage stats there. As we see in the top lane, in Defiance going to be coming through real fast. Knock up. Homing's going to come through. And that was a beautiful flash body slam, as now Navy Caboose going to be able to pick up this kill onto Almont, and the cleanup crew is here for World Class Esports. They're not going to be able to get Defiance.
Well, that was crazy. Oh my word. And Defiance follows the flash like with a millisecond to spare and gets the knockup onto the Vladimir. TP's going to come in. Ooh, Camille's going ham onto this Graves. He's definitely going to fall. Almont picking himself up a 3rd kill in the game. Very well played by both teams on the macro.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it earlier. I think they want to get Almont ahead in this game, and they've done really well at accomplishing that so far.
Yep, they put all the resources into him. And look at Almont's build. He is just not playing around.
Defiance is going to get caught out here and taken down a little too greedy on that red buff right there.
Yep, he's trying to do the counter jungle again, but okay, he made another mistake. That's okay. That's how you learn. We talked about it last week. We had a game of 2 teams, and one of the teams just decided to give everything up. And honestly, I would like to see mistakes as opposed to just not doing anything at all. So honestly, you never see plays like the one that Defiance just had, flash follow-up on the Gragas E. Unless you are a jungler or a player that likes to push his limits. So yeah, you have it hit or miss sometimes, but I'll take that any day over someone who just doesn't do anything.
Stun gonna land in the mid lane. In Defiance there to follow up. And Queen Me, wow, I'm impressed by Queen Me so far. Honestly, like, I've been looking at Great Scruff as like one of the main playmakers for World Class, but Queen Me's kind of made him look a little bit like a joke in this lane.
Yes, Queen Me definitely gets MVP so far, in my opinion. The Nivea is on point, and then he switches completely and is playing a melee engaged champion, and he's still doing very, very well. So exciting to see players that could play anything and do well, but he is down in CS and making up for it, honestly, in his gameplay in a losing matchup. So
yeah. And one thing I wanted to, going back to the draft, I wanted to talk about is that Predictive Gaming Tartarus is playing a very different play style. The last game that they got to play, it was a very pick-oriented, very objective, control-y play style. And this one's going to be very different from that. And I'm interested to see how they adjust to Queen Me no longer playing that mage control in the mid lane and now playing more of an assassin on that Camille.
It's exciting to see, and honestly, yeah, you're gonna target ban the Anivia after that first game, but to see
Yeah.
someone come back on a completely different champion and just go as confident as ever, that's very very cool to see, and shows why Predictive Tartarus is one of the top teams in this division for sure. And looking at like mid to late game, because that's what we talked about, Tartarus does have an advantage here. Yeah, pretty easy gank to get away from, but good effort. So, as I was saying, Tartarus does have a lead, which is very good, especially because Ezreal went tier. So, honestly, like, they're not looking to fight. I would say World Class Esports would like to give up a few objectives here, or try and get a pick and then give it up after that. Just try and get something out of it at least. But
Yeah.
if they give a few things up, I think it's okay because they scaled so well in the late game.
Engage in the bot lane. Stun's gonna come out. Solar Flare is gonna land as well, but Shot takes one too many turret shots. Eric the Punisher backs off, and nobody gonna go down, but now pressure underneath this turret. Best Mustache, you've gotta back off, and damage gonna come through. Mid laner, jungler joining the fight. Shot jumping through, and a double kill for Scruff.
Well played. The macro of World Class Esports never gets old. They're so good at it. Double kill going on to Nico, and a great roam all in all. Camille will pick up a play in return, but yeah, World Class Esports, I love to watch them play because they're always just on point with when they rotate.
Sec ultimatum gonna go down onto Scruff in the mid lane here, but Queen may not win this fight. Does get the stun down, and Gragas is gonna join him. Does pick up 1-for-1. Almont getting that kill for 1-1, or I'm sorry, 4-1-0 on that Lucian.
Excellent. I think they are going to rotate Lucian out of the top lane this time. Camille is also a top laner, so what do you know? It's a great combination. So yeah, Lucian getting all of the plates yet again in game number 2. So he is online, and now they're going to put him in a lane where he can better influence the map this time. So wonderful to see that they're learning from their mistakes, or maybe it wasn't a mistake, but I feel like this is how League of Legends plays out a little bit more smoothly, in my humble opinion. So yeah, Eric the Punisher and Gragas getting some good vision this time around. Leon is going to sniff it out, and he's going to clear it out. But look at their pink wards. They have a pink ward all the way almost at wolf camps in the enemy jungle. So great to see.
Yeah, I think Tartarus might have been listening to me a little bit, and they're actually putting their pink wards down this time. So far, the vision control hasn't really been there for World Class, and you have to wonder a little bit, like, did last game leave a mental effect on them? Are they a little bit tilted due to the fact that they had a lead? They struggled a little bit in the early game. They pulled it back, got a lead, started taking dragons. Mid lane got super fed, and they just weren't able to close things out. That can have an effect going into a best of 3 series like this. Hopefully that's not the case.
Hopefully it's not. And someone in the chat, World Class Ezregas, pointed out that maybe it's not a good idea to take the top turret unless you're going to be able to spread out the lead, because you're giving Vladimir a free lane to farm in, and he's going to be a monster late game. And yeah, that's a great thing to point out. I'm curious to see if they are able to push this lead out. It looks like Lucian and them are trying to like catch Graves out maybe in the jungle, but unless they're able to catch out that Nico and push out another lane, yeah, I would say that it might. Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a terrible idea, but you're right. If they don't take advantage of it and utilize that pressure elsewhere, it's definitely going to come back to bite them in the butt. Vladimir just scales way too much, and he has a cold, so...
See the engage in the bot lane. Zenith Blade gonna land. Eric is gonna get the Solar Flail popped on top of him, and now In Defiance gonna try to join the fight. Does knock up Shot. The damage is gonna come through, and support traded for support. Tartarus might not quite be done here. They're looking.
Yep, their most fed member of the team is lurking in the bush here.
They spot Navy Caboose out there.
Yep. Looks like he's just going to head back to the mid lane. Camille's also heading to the mid lane, so... yeah, I don't know. I guess they're going to set up for Dragon here, hopefully. Take advantage of the fact that top lane's so pushed in, like... Yeah, but that means Red Flamed is free to TP whenever he wants.
Yep.
He has a lane to himself, so it is technically a 5v5. Someone has to be there. And they're running double TP on World Class Esports, so they have more luxury. So taking that top turret in the, it honestly just opens up two people to now split push and then still be able to come in. Ooh.
Yeah, Defiance is being real aggressive, falls super low, but's able to flash out, and now the team has arrived. 2 kills gonna get picked up for that Kaisa, as Almond is not done. Great Scruff is gonna try to run away, does have to pop the ultimate, but might not make it out of the wisp. Oh, does get the stun down. Indefiance is looking for it, though. He really wants this. Pops the ult, and he's gonna get it. 3 kills going over for the side of Tartarus, and everything swinging in their favor.
Yep, double kill. We see the chase yet again. So Nico has to pop the ultimate here, or she's probably going to die to the damage. Lucian waits it out, gets rooted, unfortunately, even though he played it quite well. And then Gragas, little does he know, he is a sniper and takes out the kill for himself. And meanwhile, Ocean Drake, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what Drake just went over, but it is a Drake going over to...
It was the Infernal Drake.
Well. Very, very nice for them. And Ocean Drake complements their composition, I think, tremendously. So if they keep this lead up, it's going to be definitely a GG for sure.
One thing that World Class is really good at, though, is reacting to plays being made. So whenever a play is happening, they're trying to look and see, hey, can we do anything on the other side of the map here? So earlier on, when they were taking the top lane turret, World Class was able to respond by getting that dive underneath the tower. While they were diving mid lane, World Class was farming top lane, and we see now that Vladimir has caught up substantially in CS, finishing out the death cap. He is going to be relevant in these fights, and that's something we got to watch out for.
Yep, CSing quite well. Lucian's doing all right for himself as well, staying top in the game in CS, even though the fact that he's like bottom, then he's mid, then he's ganking in the jungle. Like, very, very well played by him to keep up that CS, almost at 10 per minute. And yeah, great to see. Ooh, Nico in the side lane here has the luxury to do so. And yeah, but at the cost of Rift Herald. So we know Predictive has focused mainly on getting these gold leads, and that is their second. I think fourth. I think they got all 4 in this series so far of Rift Heralds.
Yeah.
So they're definitely not slowing down the game pace whatsoever. They're going to push this lead even harder this game, and I like to see it. They're pushing they're using their most valuable resources to get objective after objective this time. And that is just incredible play all around by Predictive.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this is what players, the teams decide to play around. And we see a lot of focus again around Great Scruff. But now the difference is for Predictive Gaming Tartarus is they don't have as much of that Fed and Nivea, but they do have 280 carries that are looking to absolutely take control of this game. So being able to shut those down is going to be a big issue for World Class Esports. I look heavily towards the Nico as well as Vladimir to be able to shut them down later on in this game.
Yep, and they do have a nice wombo combo from World Class Esports, and we know that they have the synergy to do so. If you've been around, seen any of their previous games, you know that this is a top tier team, and they love the team fight with wombo combo type styles. So never count them out, because the Leona into the, I guess there's no snowball, I've been playing too much ARAM, but Nico can just follow up on that with movement speed. And yeah, you just pop 2 or 3 members. They're all squishy. Gragas is in the front line. Like, yeah, he has a Spectre's Cowl, but for the most part, he's just a mage right now. So they have no front line except for Braum. And honestly, Braum only has armor. So yeah, he's just going to get one shot too. Like, yeah, it's looking good for World Class Esports. If they get a good fight, they're all magic damage right now. Perfect. Definitely should fight for the next objective, I think.
Yeah, I think World Class Esports plays the macro fairly well. They know what objectives they need to go for. They know when they can't take an objective, and they're all farming super duper well. I think what they need to focus on is how they play these team fights out. And it starts with a vision. They currently have no vision across the board. 1 minute till Dragon spawns. They should be getting some wards out near that soon. But it's really looking lackluster in terms of map control for the side of World Class Esports.
Yep, very true. They're going to get a lot of damage onto the Leona shot. It's running forward to the hill. He's going to get out. Yeah, unfortunately, Lucian tried to get the red buff slow and then had to use the Blade of the Rune King when he realized he couldn't get it off. Otherwise, that probably would have been a kill. But nonetheless, they are setting up vision. They might try. No, okay, they're going to reset. But I was going to say, they have Rift. Baron's spawning. You have a double ADC comp. Both of them are fed. You can sneak a 20-minute Baron. That would be amazing, I think. Like, just top level of play. If you have the confidence to do that, yeah, like, I'm looking forward to it. But I don't think we're going to see it. They're going to reset and go for the dragon instead here. Probably the safer move. Don't listen to Turtle.
Yeah. Opting for the safer play. I think a Baron would be really, really risky at this point, but it would make things interesting. I would love to see a 20-minute Baron 50-50 between the two teams. That would be amazing. But Dragon is spawning, and I think it's not worth as much as Baron, but this is really going to dictate the pace of this game for both teams. Whoever gets this second Dragon is going to be on track toward much more on track to getting that soul point. And Tartarus is going to start it up. It looks like they're just World Class is just going to give this one up.
Yep, they will get some golden top side onto again their carry. Like, Vlad's gone uncontested pretty much. He is now top in CS, so they're okay with trading that, and Lucian's going to be missing a lot of CS in the top lane as well, so a little bit of an advantage going over, even though they may get this turret with the Rift Herald in the bottom side. Nope, not enough.
Not quite.
Now they're just going to back out. So I would say all in all, World Class Esports needed to give that, and they set themselves up to gain a little bit of an advantage doing so in the top side. So well played, honestly. I'll take it if I'm World Class.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. World Class, like I said before, they're very good at picking their fights. You had mentioned beginning game one draft selection. They're very good at picking their fights, and they're doing so trying to choose very wisely what fights they want to take. And I think it's really going to come down to setting up for those team fights, being able to pick a fight on their terms, as opposed to what it's felt like this whole series is Tartarus is just kind of getting in the position they want and playing the fights out the way that they want them to.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing to do in 5v5 competitive. In solo queue, yeah, if you're a good player, you can kind of force the enemy into a crummy situation once you get a lead by, I don't know, picking off somebody because they're sloppy. But in 5v5s, it's a lot more difficult to just push a lead by yourself, because most of the time people are communicating, they're together, so you're not just going to pick off some random guy walking through the jungle for no reason in silver.
Unless it's shot.
Unless it's shot.
he's the one guy who's just gonna go wandering through the jungle like it's solo queue, but
he's the guy starting Baron when his team's bottom lane, like for like no reason. Yeah, but like unless it's shot, you're right. Like it's a lot more difficult to push that lead. But World Class Esports does it so well as a team. They know the name of the game. They're a lot better usually than their opponents at macro and grouping up first. So they get a 3v2 advantage, and they get to pick that way instead of one guy is just kind of like trying to solo carry. They use numbers very, very efficiently. So yeah, curious to see what they are able to pull out with the Wombo combo, as they are still behind about 1,000 gold here. And both teams heading up towards the Baron, trying to get some good vision control on it, just in case. You never know.
Yep. 23 minutes in the game. We do see Eric the Punisher is going to find out Red Flame. Don't think they have enough damage there, and actually a decent response for World Class Esports. The Solar Flare is going to land, and this might be a nice shutdown coming through for the side of World Class Esports, as Graves is going to be the one to pick that up. And another kill coming through as well. Response coming out from Tartarus, but a little too late. A flash coming out in the top lane. Queen Me is going to get he's not actually going to get stunned. He does get that pull off over the wall and will get away soon.
Yep, very, very well played by World Class. We just talked about how when they know they have the numbers, they use them, and they're on to the Baron, trying to get back the game into their favor, and they have absolute full control and 5 members to do so. And Leona is great at zoning them out, is just going to put some pressure on them. Vladimir is going to be tanking up the Baron now, and ooh, the contest is going to go. The Coaling is out. Is it going to be enough to dissuade it? It is not.
Tartarus feels like they need to contest this one. Navy Caboose is half health, shot as well. Kill's gonna come through for World Class Esports. There's a huge ultimate in the middle. Hextech ultimatum coming down. Camille is gonna fall, but Alma trying to pick up the kills, trying to carry for his team. Red Flame super low, hit by Braum, will get taken down, and now Alma trying to carry 3 kills with the true shot barrage. Chris Meister with 100 health gonna pick up a kill for himself in 3 for 3. All in all, though, Baron stopped, and Tartarus, I think at the end of the day, you take that.
Yeah, you do. It's better than giving up the Baron, and they were patient about it. Hoped, and then all sacrificed their lives for Almwat so that he could stay alive and dish out damage constantly. So very, very well played by both teams, I would say. Good on you, World Class Esports, for pressuring the team. Love to see it. And Chris Meister, that was dirty with the snipe at the end there, preventing any chance at a Baron because of the jungler being down. So crucial pickup right there. But yeah, I would say Predictive is very, very happy with that outcome, as Lucian is now 6-1. Looking to snowball. Ooh.
Shot overextending in the jungle again. We talked about it, Shot. We've talked about this. Come on, man.
Yep, Shot's gonna go down. That is probably gonna be soul point uncontested here, unless World Class has. No, they're just gonna give it. Yep.
That is a huge mistake, though. Shot completely separated from the rest of his team, and Tartarus read them like a book. They were like, all right, we're gonna wait in this pixel brush, because Shot's gonna walk right through the river and die. That's what's gonna happen.
Saw it in advance. These little scrying orb. Saw the future. Maybe they asked the 8 ball. Will Shot be here in the jungle again?
The answer is always
said yes. So yeah, that is a huge mistake. Yes, Dragon was spawning, but your team was right behind you. Just wait for him next time. Ooh, a little bit of contest. Ballsy.
Yeah, this is interesting. Hemoplague is going to go down. Red Flame trying to fight this one out, but the flash comes out and Queen Me is going to get away. I just want to say again, 26 minutes into this game, 44.6k, 44.8k on World Class. You guys voted 47 to 47, 50% on both sides. This, again, game number 2 could not be closer. It is swinging a little bit in the favor of Tartarus, as they have 3 dragons to the 1 of World Class, and it looks like 1 extra turret. But man, this is an exciting series so far.
It really, really is. And Grag is benefiting a ton from that double Ocean Drake for sure, as he even has a Spirit Visage to amplify that healing. Ah, man, I love Gragas. Love to see it. And it's going to be, honestly, it's going to go down to team fights. They are going to gank Red Flame's ball down here.
He's going to have the pull, but might be in a bit of trouble. Hextech ultimatum going to come down to lock him in place, and just giving that kill over to Almond. 8-1-4, looking so nasty on that Lucian.
Some spicy plays coming out from Predictive here. They're going to push down a tower most likely. Push their lead. Yep, don't back out. Never surrender.
Turret not quite gonna fall, and Almond's actually in a lot of trouble here. Does take a lot of damage, below half health. Navy Caboose now trying to pick up some kills, does get 1. Eric the Punisher now may have overstayed a little bit, as Kaisa is desperately trying to join this fight. Gets onto the backline, gets 1 kill. Can she pick up more? Shots gonna end up falling to Almond, and the carries are staying alive for Tartarus. And now they're going to be able to push in onto the tower. World Class looked for it. They tried to get the fight they wanted, and Caboose is going to go down as well. But
he doesn't Vladimir, though. It's not done.
Get it. Vladimir is going to teleport onto the back line here. Alma, Flash comes out. Hemoplague going to land as well, but he might only just get 1 kill here. Hemoplague not even going to pick him up.
No. Lucian dodging left and right, getting out just barely in time with a sliver of HP. And unfortunately, the E from Vladimir is not going to land, and that is going to get Lucian out alive. So both summoners burned on Vladimir for absolutely 0 profit. Yeah. So pings from blue side heading over to the Baron. I mean, they might look to take this out early, as they know that they have a huge advantage now. Well, 2k gold and 3 dragons is a lot, in my opinion, at least at this point in the game when you have a Lucian that's been in 1. See if, oh, they're already onto it. Whoa.
Yeah, late respawn here for Red Flame. He's up in 8 seconds. Graves will likely be able to make it over here, but the Baron is already below half health. He's got to come around that side. Blast Cone was removed. 3,000 health left. Navy Caboose, can he do it? 2,000 health. He doesn't see it though, and they're just gonna back off. That's gonna be Baron going over to Tartarus, and this is so huge. Soul Point is coming up in a minute, and everything swinging in the favor of Tartarus right now.
Yeah, Red Flame evolved being dead, and Predictive not taking a second thought. They just immediately start up the Baron, get it for themselves, and now they're going to be able to push out lanes and have Camille in the top side pressuring that top turret while they go for a soul or whatever they want to do with it. They could go ahead and potentially break open an inhibitor, but Lucia does have TP, so I would say he should split. Yeah, they do send Camille back. So they're just going to 5-man it, I think, over here at the Dragon Pit. As Flowers would say, they are dressed in purple. I love that imagery. And yeah, they have everything that they need to close out this game once they pick up the soul as well. So, world class, it's all down to this. If you win this fight, you have a chance. If you don't, I'm not seeing a win con, my friends.
World Class is looking for the pick, but Camille snaking her way out of there does get free. And that would have been huge though, right before Soul Point comes up. That would have been what gets them in this fight. But I don't think that they can contest this. World Class is just too far behind.
Well, Camille just went back. If they start it right now, it's 5v4. So they don't notice that though. They don't have vision. So unfortunately, Camille's going to make it back in time. But that would have been the window if they somehow had vision on that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad. World Class Esports, they're trying to find a way back into this game. 5K down. It's not looking great for them, but they can do it. This bush stack might be enough. Greg is going to walk right in there, and he does get bursted, but the Zhonya's is going to come out. Meanwhile, the Hextech Ultimatum's going to come down, and a huge shutdown going over to Camille. She's now looking for Navy. Caboose's shot is caught between a rock and a hard place. He's going to fall. Flash over the wall for Gruff. And that's definitely going to be Soul Point now for Tartarus.
Oh, how do you come back from this? It's a 6K gold lead. You catch someone out with all your resources and he doesn't die? Like, not looking good at all. Soul Point going over to Predictive. Now let's have a poll in the...
Yeah, right?
Maybe now it won't be so even. But yeah, Soul Point... Oh, it's so good on this team composition when you have two ADCs that can just heal up like non-stop. Triple front line, I'm sorry. And Baron buff still on all 5 members.
Predictive Gaming Tartarus looking poised to take game number 2, making this a quick series. They want it so bad. They're on to the inhibitor turret. We'll have to see if they're able to take it down and take this win. But oh my gosh, what a game so far. They have definitely prepared for this, showing us that they can play multiple different team comps. It feels like they've read the World Class Esports book and been like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And so far they've done it. Slow's gonna come out onto Almont. Solar Flare is gonna land as well. Leona is right onto him, but this Zhonya's is gonna come out. And it looks like things are not going well for World Class Esports. Shot's gonna fall. Vladimir's gonna fall as well. Best Mustache taking a lot of damage on the back line there. But Navy has to back away, and that's gonna be 3 members down. 30-second respawn timers. In Defiance gonna look for this last kill. Not quite able to get it. He's not looking like the god he was in the beginning, but oh my gosh.
Honestly,
33 minutes. World Class, or I'm sorry, Predictive Gaming Tartarus, they're gonna pick up this win.
Yep, and good try on the stall boost, but it wasn't gonna be enough. That is, as Small Dog just said, game number 2 going over to Predictive Tartarus as they take the series away from the former league champions. I was gonna say world champions, but
world champions.
Not quite
ReDefy world champions.
Yeah, the ReDefy champions of last season just got taken down in what seemed to be a very one-sided series from Predictive Tartarus. So, as you know it, we are going to have an interview with some of the MVPs from the winning team. But yeah, what an incredible game. Both sides playing evenly for most of the game, at least as far as gold goes. But I don't know. I don't know. What do you think made the difference? Why was Predictive able to come out top even though the gold was so close both times?
I honestly, it feels like they prepared for this match. As opposed to World Class Esports, they felt like they were going in and they were just playing another game. It felt like they were playing a scrim. But Predictive Gaming Tartarus, it felt like they went and they did their research and they said, all right, this is what we need to target. This is when we win, and this is how we win. And it feels like they played their game fairly well. Obviously, mistakes in the first game, but this second game felt pretty textbook. They were like, okay, we're fine going even. We're fine giving up a few things, but they just meticulously pulled World Class apart and easy 2-0. I honestly, Predictive Gaming Tartarus, they're looking like top seed right now. It was not predicted in week 1, but week 3, undisputed. They are definitely at the top of their league.
Absolutely, man. Two Titans going at it. Predictive comes out on top. World Class Esports has a chance to come back, as there is always another chance for revenge. But right now, we are joined by the one, the only. Just kidding. He left the Discord.
He just left the Discord.
Alwat, how are you doing, my man?
I'm feeling great,
dude.
Yeah, that was
a
nasty one, dude.
Yeah. Well, how do you like? I don't know, man. How do you do it? How do you pop off in 2 games in a row and just carry your team? That's what we want to know. Like, honestly, people were calling out your name the entire time. They were saying Amwat Diff. So how does it feel to be the MVP definitely of the series? I'm just gonna say it now.
Definitely.
It feels great. I mean, like, me and Scruff have a history together. We used to play in the same team, but like in scrims against him, I'm like 0-5. So finally beating him feels really good.
Oh, so you guys scrimmed the champions from last season a lot. That's really cool. Is that like strategy or like what?
Yeah. So like before the game, we kind of knew what he was gonna pick and how he was gonna play, and so we just played around that the entire game. And being their best player, if we were able to shut him down, we just win the game easily.
Almat, I gotta ask, with the history between these two teams, World Class Esports and Predictive Gaming, how much did this win mean to you guys? Like, just as a a pride thing.
Felt amazing as a pride thing. Amazing.
So I imagine it felt really good, and to be the one that pretty much made it all happen. Granted, your team played well, like no doubt about it. But as the MVP, like, I'm curious because first game, Small Dog and I were watching, and you got a huge lead, all 5 plates, both games, by the way, early game. But in the first game, you got all 5 plates, and then they just kind of left you in the top lane, even though you're the most fed carry. Was there any like changes during champ select for game number 2 where you like, hey, can I get more resources? Can you take me out of the top lane so I can put pressure elsewhere? How did that go? Like, what were the comms like?
So the adaptation that we did was that like we did the same play of just getting the Herald and forcing it on top tower.
Mm-hmm.
But the one difference was that we did it at a time to where Dragon was coming up sooner, so I wouldn't just have to go back top lane and go into that side lane where there's nothing happening. But because of the fact that we took it at around the same time Dragon was spawning, I was able to reset, then come back to Dragon with the full item and have way more impact.
Ooh, very, very well played, though. Yeah. Small Dog?
I just wanted to say that's some really good insight. Honestly, you guys played amazingly today. Congratulations on your win, and I'm really excited going into playoffs to see how you guys stack up. If we get a rematch of World Class Esports and Predictive Gaming Tartarus somewhere in playoffs. Do you have anything you wanted to add? Any plugs for your team? Anything you wanted to add?
Just want to say to ban Lucian next time.
Well, my friend, they are definitely watching. Anybody that's watching is definitely going to ban Lucian, I would imagine, or at least pick a hard counter into it. But yeah, congratulations again. Like Small Dog said, you were the MVP and taken away an amazing series. So congratulations on that. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Small Dog and I had a blast shoutcasting this game and a blast seeing the chat just being crazy. Like, so many people of you guys were talking, like calling out your favorite players, calling me out for saying dumb things. It's all well appreciated. So thanks for joining us, guys. And Small Dog, take it away, my friend.
I'm disappointed we didn't get a game number 3, but I couldn't have asked for a better series. We were so hyped about this match before we even started streaming, and boy, did it deliver. But I want to say thank you on behalf of the entire crew here, Benjamin's, Breezy Bay, everybody who makes this stream happen. You guys are awesome, super amazing. Thanks for all the casters that help out. And most of all, thank you guys, all you viewers, all the players on the teams. You guys are what makes this league happen. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. And hope to see you guys next time.
Yep. Stay healthy, gamers. Take care.